Hello and welcome to our Baltimore by Night special solo episode, the second one we've had. This one is a special Second Inquisition one, as you can tell by the symbols in the background. We're actually not using White Wolf's Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition system for tonight, even though it is in continuity with Baltimore by Night stuff. Due to the solar nature and just wanted to test out something, we'll be using Knights Black Agents solo op by Pelgrane Press. Oop, oop, oop. You can see it. It's an interesting system. It's the one-on-one version of Gumshoe for one-on-one gaming. It's also part of the Knights Black Agents thing, which is spies meets vampire and everything. It's pretty cool. Nice, but yep. So since it's one-on-one and it's slightly different rules, we're going to see how it plays out. So with that being said, let's kind of dive in. Um, so in Baltimore, Operation First Light, or is it Operation? Yeah, Operation First Light exists. They are around, but our normal coterie are not aware of them really. They don't know where they are or operate. It's just always rumors that First Light and the Second Inquisition are around. But these rumors are more than just fake gossip to scare little fledglings and chowders. Downtown in Baltimore City, there is the Federal Reserve Annex, I think it is. It's basically a building that's highly defendable, so to speak, as it is a reserve, where they store federal money or just money in general for distribution amongst things. It's not one of the main areas that they like print and stuff, but it is one where they keep a sizable amount of money on hand. Beneath this place, this discrete building, which is made of red brick, I believe, red tennis brick and
Yeah.
cement and stone. Deep beneath it, several floors. Further down than most things in Baltimore City go, there are secret rooms where Operation First Light has set up operations for the last several years. And with that, as we cut to an elevator door opening as our player merges, tell them about yourself, Katrina.
So Leyla Khan is a special agent that is much more talented than I am. She has been involved in like various different special ops organizations for the last several years. And has recently joined up with First Light to try and figure out what happened to her 5 years ago, because she has a patch of memory that she has lost that she believes is due to the um, machinations of a blank body. She was effectively ghouled by a vampire for several years, ghouled and or dominated, one or the other, probably both. Um, and wants to make sure that that doesn't happen to anybody else ever again.
So, as you enter into the operations room, you see several of your colleagues. Now, First Light in Baltimore City is divided into two main shifts, white shift and black shift. One operates in the day, one operates at night. You operate on the black shift, and the members of First Light in Baltimore go by chess motif names. So you have king, queen, bishop, knight, rook, and then five pawns, who are just the regular people who work in who don't really go out on the field or are field ops and don't really have any real authority or specializations. It kind of sucks just being a pawn, but they always are there. So as you walk, you see basically King or Agent King, specifically Black King, because there's a black shift in there. He is a um 50s white fit about 50 to 60 years old white man, short, military style, uh cut, very, regular, still regulations from his time in the service, pepper gray, wearing a sharp black and white, typical G-man style suit. He's not very flashy or very subtle in things. He even
Mhm.
has the vest on and stuff. So he's sitting there, sees you coming. He's like, "Knight,
What was his designation again? Mm,
king."
okay, king.
He's like, "Had a good rest last morning."
As good as can be.
"Oh, good, good. Um, Queen would like to speak with you. She has some interesting things for her, as she's been surveying various online chat rooms and stuff."
Okay, absolutely.
Mhm. No. So you walk from the main ops, the main operation room. There's like I said, King sitting there. He's basically at a nice desk with a computer on it, but there's also several monitors around where some of the where three of the pawns sit, monitoring different channels and stuff. Just to say, off
Mhm.
to the left is where Queen's main intelligence thing is. Her responsibility is essentially to take the surveillance and stuff that all the other agents are getting and um compile and analyze it for anything useful or anything interesting.
Okay.
You go in, she's a short, about 5 foot African American woman with she's bald, just shaved. She generally wears less um severe cut outfit like King does, so it's like
Mhm.
less obvious that she's like a federal agent walking around,
Yeah.
but she still wears like business casual like outfit. She just
Yeah.
sees you,
More
she's like,
business casual than G-man.
yeah. And you just see her looking at a couple monitors with some headphones on. She's like, "Oh, night. Um,
Queen.
yeah, so yeah, I got someone who I think we might want to send someone to monitor some. I've been looking at the different websites, and there's a young adult who is pinging us with lots of keywords. I was thinking at first to send one of the pawns to do it, but
Mhm.
just in case they are something more dangerous, your skills might be more specialized. They are actually at a work at a brewery not too far around here. Yeah. And their
Okay.
name, it's like I got a profile. Their name is Cole Colin Connor. It's a,
All right.
yeah.
Peculiar name.
Yeah, it's like I printed some things off, but they are been going to several websites that fake websites we've set up with the different dangles to see if people interact with them. And he clicked on a few of our links, allowing us to get into his computer, and he is typing a lot and researching a lot on Blankbodies and stuff.
Mhm.
So there could be something up there. So we want to see if he actually knows anything for real.
All right. I can do that.
Yeah, try to be less gung ho than some other times. So no
Yeah.
blowing out the kneecaps if you don't have to.
Obviously. What do we know about this guy?
Um, from our stuff, he appears to be um young adult, probably 19, 20, single, doesn't seem to have a lot of friends. He apparently goes online a lot to play online multiplayer online games with
Okay, so he's a gamer.
yeah, he's a gamer. He also works at a brewery. Hangs out a lot at a weird, creepy, burnt down mansion that's attached to a occult bookstore, which we do have under surveillance. Um, because blank bodies just seem to be drawn to that,
Okay.
especially I think our intel calls them a group called the Tremor. I'm not sure why they call them that. Maybe they just have shakes or something. But yeah. So go then. If you want, you can take one of the pawns with you. If not, take the standard. Well, we will let you, since you're the field ops expert, determine if you want to take the van or the Lincoln.
Based on what you say, this guy, I feel like the van would be a bit better. the brewery that he works at, is it open to the public? Is it like one of the tasting bars, or is it just a factory sort of thing?
It does have a public open face, I believe, where they do have bars with their micro IPAs, I think it is.
Hmm.
Um, where people go. It's not open all night, but it closes around 11 o'clock for most days. Also remember to go to Rook for supplies and equipment.
Okay, will do.
Mhm. Any other questions you need before you leave?
No, that should be all.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good hunting.
You as
All right.
well. And she'll head down to Rook wherever they are.
Yeah. Rook is off to another room to the side. See Rook. He's a African American man, probably in his 30s, got big old rimmed glasses. Um, wears a flannel shirt with a long like a lab coat, but the sleeves are rolled up. Kind of swole, could have been a professional athlete and stuff, but he's just got a bag of what appear to be rice cakes, plain, no flavor, that he's just munching on. Yeah. He's like, "Hey, Knight, how's it going?"
Good, Rook. So it looks like I will be checking out a nerd, as best I can tell. Somebody who's been clicking on the wrong links.
Oh yeah.
They're into gaming, hang out in an occult bookstore. Definitely think I'm gonna lose the jacket before I head down there, but is there anything else you think I could use?
Um, don't think there's a ton, but there's some usual stuff that case just in case. So let's see. He goes, pulls a couple cases out. Do you think we want to go heavy or want to go a little bit light?
A little light. I don't want to tip his suspicion too early. I don't know how deeply he's involved, if at all.
All right, so pulls out a handgun. He's like, okay, so since you're going a bit light, simple 9 here. It does have the special scope, the attachment that you can put on to allow you to see heat signatures that we've been working on. It's pretty accurate still. We've been working on it.
Okay.
Hands you it. It's basically a handgun about this big. It's got a little scope they can put on the top.
Yeah.
So
She'll
yeah,
do
it's
the like standard good gun practices of like check to see if it's loaded and everything, and then
so we got that.
dash it.
Just in case something handles hard, we do have the specialized shotgun that we've been trying out with this new special stake ammo.
Steak in a shotgun. That's interesting.
Yeah, we've been having trouble with it because the velocity shattering the wooden stakes. We've tried metal, but from our intel, some agents are reporting it's not as effective as wood for some reason.
That
Still
doesn't
not
make any
sure about it.
sense. You would think
It
that anything that pierces the heart would do it.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it's the special ammo they store it in like a metal sheath, and as it shoots, the sheath breaks apart and the wood projectile penetrates. So you got about 4 or 5 shots with it.
Okay.
Um, don't use it against normal people.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, and just in case for emergencies, we do have the V5 formula. Remember to inject it only in emergencies.
Okay.
Yeah, get a nice little boost of strength and heal a little bit faster when this thing's in your veins.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should be good. Just standard loadout. Remember, don't go around shooting people. Though it is Baltimore, no one's going to really notice the difference.
Yeah, but we want to try and keep a low profile.
Yeah. So that's good. Oh, do you think you need any kind of vest or anything, protective gear?
I doubt it. I may take it anyway just to be safe. I'll put everything in like a backpack. So I have it if I need it, but it's not obvious.
You go pulls out is like this is special made out of a synthetic mesh. It's actually prototype. It's supposed to be really good against some of absorbing a lot of bludgeoning and piercing things. And it also has a special collar you pop up because these blank bodies like attacking the neck for some reason. So yeah, it's also lightweight and can be worn under the clothing. Though it does
Okay.
make it look like you're wearing a very high collar.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, unless there's anything else, I believe that's all I need then.
Sounds good. Good hunting night.
Thank you. So the only place that I know for certain that this guy is likely to be at would be the brewery. So I think she's gonna head there first.
Mm-hmm. And you taking the van?
Yeah, she'll put all of her extra stuff. She'll keep the I get like a hoodie, and so that she can keep the handgun on her just slightly hidden. Um, but everything else she'll put into a backpack and take with her.
So it's like standard box van kind of thing, with the sliding door. On the
Mhm.
inside, there is surveillance equipment that you can utilize, so that you can like listen in the distance stuff. It's disguised as a just like a DHL delivery truck.
Okay.
So it's not just so suspicious or pedo van looking.
Okay.
And you drive.
Yeah,
Are you taking
where's
any
the
other pawns with you, or are you going solo?
this time she'll go solo.
Alright.
Where's the brewery located?
I'm trying to remember where I put it. It's
I
like a yuppie area. Hampton?
Yeah, Hampton is good, Federal Hill maybe.
Yeah, around those areas. One of them. I can't remember which one I placed it in, if I did at all.
I don't think you did.
I guess I would just do I think Hampton. That's where like the was it Paper Moon or Blue Moon Cafe and all that shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up around that area, I think. Yeah. You drive, you pull up. What do you do?
Um well, checking online, how much time do I have before the place closes?
Your shift probably start around 6 or so you got several hours.
Okay.
So like 3 hours before it closes to the public.
All right. Do we have we don't know what this guy looks like, right?
They have a description and some photos that they managed to get with a preliminary survey of things. Basically, they looked into the hiring records and got his ID.
She will head into the brewery as if she were going to get a drink and just keep an eye out and watch the guy.
You're sitting there, server basically comes up, gives you some food, and because it's more than just brewery, they also have a slight of food. It's like standard light food that you would get at a place that also sell breweries, so like burgers, fries, chicken tenders,
Yeah, she'll get a meal.
nachos. You know what I mean?
Maybe like a
They
meal and a light a single beer.
they also ask if you give you a sampler if you want it, which has a small little glass of all the different kinds.
As long as she doesn't think it would get her drunk, she would maybe do that.
But you don't have to finish them. It's
Okay,
more
fair,
for
yeah.
tasting. As you're looking, after about 15, 20 minutes, you do see an individual fitting the description walk in. It's just like, oh man, looks like um kind of head a little low, walking. A couple people, make fun of him, and he's just like, eh.
Okay. I think for the first little bit, she just wants to like keep an eye on him, just see what she can pick up just looking at him.
Yeah, what kind of stuff you want to pick up?
So like Based on what she knows of the fact that he doesn't have a ton of friends, she's guessing just a straight up come on would probably make him more suspicious.
Mhm.
Um, so I think what she's gonna do is he like serving or does he make the
It
beer
looks like
itself?
he transports the barrels around.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got the pallet jack in the back. Because even though it's got the bar or the eating place in front, they still have it where it's kind of open so you can see in the back them brewing because it's fancy with the glass and stuff. So you're like, oh,
Mm. Hmm.
see him walking, doing the things.
Yeah, so she just kind of wants to get a feel for like what his personality is like, see like what his relationship with his coworkers is, if there are any that he's friendly with. She can tell he's probably not friendly with some of them, but which
Yeah.
ones perhaps.
He's looking like a little bit of a loner. He does talk to some of them and stuff. Um, it does look like he's either low on the totem pole or like not as popular because he is teased a bit.
Hmm.
He can see the people just coming up and saying stuff, and he's like,
Hmm.
a little agitated, but he still get about the work.
But he
You
does
also know
look.
this, yeah, he looks human. You also know the sun is still currently up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the sun will be setting in about 15, 20 minutes, I believe, because it's November-ish. So, and you got here around 5:30, so sun should be setting shortly.
Would it be possible for, is there a thing that I can do where I could like tap his cell phone if I were able to get close enough to it, or is that something I would need like a contact for? I do
Well,
have
let's look at
I do have electronic surveillance.
um, yeah. So you know if you there's the equipment in the van that will allow you to tap into it,
Okay.
overhear conversations.
Would I be able to see like text messages though?
You would need to gain access to the phone first to implant something to
Hmm.
get that information. But you should be able to overhear conversations from the van and all that jazz.
Okay. Okay. I think for her first little bit though, she just kind of wanted to like get eyes on him and see exactly what's happening. She wants to kind of go careful with it so she doesn't spook him because he seems like the type who would spook easily.
Mhm.
Um, and of the his coworkers that are sort of like being kind of jerks to him
Uh,
are,
there's a couple of them. Some just ignore him, but there are a few that are
yeah, the
jerky.
ones that are particularly like picking on him, are they at all like, are they servers at all?
Most of the people he seems to interact with are the back people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like the people who work the actual brewery and the servers that work the restaurant part don't seem to communicate too much. Like
Okay.
the servers seem to think they're better than the laborers.
Okay. Um, so then in that case she'll just finish her meal and then head out to the van to see if she can tap his cell phone.
Let's see here. Going up and you start like doing the electronics, start hearing conversations as people are talking. Um, don't hear much overall for conversation wise. Um, but how long you plan on staying? Just like a whole night surveillance kind of thing going on?
Yeah, I think if he leaves, she may follow at a distance.
All right, so as you're doing electronic surveillance and stuff, you notice an anomaly on the stuff. As you're looking, because I don't think I had this ability. I don't think she still does. Um, as you see a figure kind of coming on who's displaying a relatively low thing, but it's one of those things where like you kind of like look out, and you don't see anything, but when you look at the infrared stuff, you're seeing things like
Yeah, so for context, if this is the day that she went to the brewery with him, I think she has the ability to go invisible and to change her face,
But
but
she
not
doesn't have Ghost in the Machine.
correct.
Yeah. So you're just kind of like, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So
she's just gonna keep eyes on that individual or that space and track it using the machine. If yeah, if they go out of range of where the tech in the van can see it, then she might like try and hide in the front of the van and watch with her scope. She
yeah.
wants to be
So
kind of subtle with it because I obviously don't want to be pointing a handgun out of a window, obviously. But
as you're just watching go on, you see a weird thing where this person you're following comes out, confronts someone, and then like this blank body you think just like punches the other one in the back of the head, knocks him out, turns to the individual you're talking to. You're like you're listening, and it's just kind of like, forget and stuff, and you did it, and they start cheering and having, celebrating and stuff, and it's like, huh. Basically you see the scene that was in our episode where Cozy donkey punched the shit out of the guy.
yeah. Um,
For those wondering what the scene actually played out like on the other end, please watch our prior episodes.
I'm not sure what episode that was.
I don't remember either.
It was fairly early on-ish.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know it was the day that he confronted her asking to embrace him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
I
are
want to say it
hearing,
was like Mortal Troubles or something like that.
yeah, we're hearing, then that plays out, and I think he kind of just went back home after that.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah. So you see him getting into his little car, bike, or whatever he drove.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
she's gonna like note his tag plates and everything and which direction he goes, but she's more interested in the Blankbodies, trying to follow them if she can.
so you do a little
I believe she
standard,
took the bus.
easy to follow a city bus or Uber or taxi or anything really.
Mhm.
And basically at one point goes to the burnt out building. I think that's where she ended up going to. Or the community center, one or the other. I can't remember which one.
I believe it was the theater.
Yeah.
Layla's going to pull up like Estat to look at public records to see who owns this building.
Looking at it, the building is owned by I got the name. Um, a Di Bartelio.
Okay. And then
Like
she's just gonna like Google that name, see what comes up, if anything.
um, standard Google, you pop up some things. You also know you have access to
Yeah.
government files, so that brings more. You notice that there is a individual. Do we have his name? Yep, Francisco. Francisco de Bertelio is been under surveillance and indictments and stuff for mob and mafia ties and other things. So far, he's been able to get off scot-free because nothing's been able to really stick, but he's been under a lot of stuff.
So the mafia apparently has an interest in Blankbodies and or whoever these Tremor people are, because they have the interest in the occult bookstore attached, right?
Yeah, whatever kind of vampires that people call the tremors tend to be uh seem to hang out at occult places often.
Okay.
People think that they are believe in magic or something probably. But yeah,
Mhm.
you're looking, you're seeing people go in and out of the bookstore. It's not a bad business, seems to be. It's also got a tea shop, a small little tea area where you can sit and have muffins. There even seems to be a sign in the window. It's like, ask us about our banana nuts. Limited
If
quality per day.
quantity or quality, just the first batch is fantastic. Everything after that goes to shit.
We're not out of bananas. It's just nut muffins now.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Quantity.
Yeah. She will change her t-shirt and like do her hair slightly different so in case this guy shows up and noticed her, she looks a little different. And then she'll, if they're still doing like regular business hours,
Yeah,
she'll
they
go
seem to be
in.
open pretty late, almost to midnight some nights. You walk in, you see a guy's like behind the counter, it's like, "Hey, welcome to our bookstore. How's it going?"
Good, you?
Oh, nice. My name's Tommy. I'll be your I'm counterman. If you have any questions, just ask and I can help out.
Sure thing. He
Yeah.
definitely looks high out of his mind, right?
Looks like someone who's enjoyed the kush once too often.
Okay. Does
Yeah,
he
you
look
don't know if
actively high right now?
he's at that point of burnout that I'm thinking he just everyone always
Just always
assumes.
looks like that. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, and if you're interested in kind of books, particular subjects, just ask. We also do reserves, so if you want a book we we can don't have in, we can order it and have it put aside when it comes in. Um, we
Sure
also
thing.
yeah we also have a nice little tea shop, several different kinds of herbal teas and regular teas and real teas, and muffins and other small things. We even have scones.
She'll get a is he like manning the counter where you buy food?
Uh, you buy food. I think it's all up basically the same counter. It's just got
Okay.
like one of the big ones. It's like,
Yeah, she'll order like a tea and just chat him up. Be like, so I've been in the area for a while and I
nice.
it's kind of slipped past this place. How long has it been here?
Year or two.
Okay.
Yeah, the owner bought the whole building and started renovating it, and it's supposed to keep more renovations to the rest of the place, but so far we've only stopped in this one area
Yeah.
and
Are you
like
guys having trouble
restoring
like
apartments.
getting permits for the back half? Because I gotta say, it looks a little rough.
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
do that part. I just know the boss lives upstairs and has restored part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, hey, Dan." You see a guy just walk over, sit down, and start getting some tea. He's one of our best customers. He's here almost every night now.
Um, and she, I don't know if it would be this obvious this early on, just talking to the guy and doing small talk. Is there a thing that I could do to try and determine whether or not this guy looks like he's kind of blitzed because he's high all the time or because of uh vampiric
He's um
abilities?
he's not displaying any of your standard signs of supernatural influence. But he does appear to be doing the signs of someone who has partaked of certain drugs quite often throughout the last couple decades.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she's going to get her tea and then walk around and like check out some of the books, see. I don't know that I would know how legit anything is because SI doesn't think that magic aside from Blankbodies is real, correct?
Correct. As far as you know, there is no real magic.
Yeah.
It's just weird abilities certain people might have. Looking through the books, you're not so noticing anything abnormal or out of the ordinary. It's your standard like stuff you find at Barnes and Noble or Borders, but um, more focused on specific subjects as opposed to a wider range.
Okay.
And there's
In that
used and new, so
in that case, she's going to, while she's like looking like she's perusing the books, she's going to be checking for like different exits, rooms that go to different places, trying to determine what doors would go to like janitor closet and which ones go to the upstairs because she now knows that the rest of the building is connected to this.
I believe there was like 3 or 4 doors. There's the front one. There's the one that I believe leads up to the actual apartments through here, and then one that leads to their back offices, storeroom, and the other one leads into the actual rest of the theater area.
Okay.
I believe that's how it's set up. It changes every time.
Mhm. Um, yeah, and so I know that the blank body is up in the theater probably, so she doesn't want to do anything too obvious. And I think when she gets a good scope of what the place is like and everything and has done a good amount of shopping, she's just gonna buy some like generic everyday like bestseller novel, horror novel or whatever. And then
Times like, oh yeah, Beginner's Guide to Witchcraft. It's very popular.
yeah, my best friend has been getting into it and she seems like she's having fun, so I figured I'd check it out.
No, you buy it. Check out its library.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, $5.95 plus tax.
Yeah, she'll pay. Probably in cash.
It's like, cool. Here's your thing. Do you need a receipt?
Sure.
You're like, reimbursement. I was like, cool. But yeah, so welcome to come back as often as you want. We always like repeat visitors. We've got several.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you guys have any like events that usually goes on or?
I've been trying to get some going, but the boss hasn't been around as often to talk to her about business stuff.
Oh,
I
are
was
they
having
like
this thing. They're just busy, I guess. They have some friends that they hang out with.
okay?
Um, Also have a girlfriend and a boyfriend.
Mm,
The boyfriend's really hot.
well, we all want that.
Want to see a picture of him?
Sure.
Pulls out the picture of Cesare.
Okay, so like, did Sasari pose for this picture, or is this just a random creeper step guy that he took?
You just see
Because
a
both
picture
of
of
these are hilarious.
yeah, Cesare's just kind of posing against the bookshelf, just doing the like foot up on it, kind of like it's like I said. What I was like, hey, I should take a picture for the boss, and so she has one. And he's like, sure, and he just went over there and posed. He was actually starting to take his shirt off, but I said that's not appropriate for inside the building.
It's a lot. I don't know how I would have dealt with that situation.
I don't either. I mean, it was weird, but I have to give the picture to her soon. I was gonna make a collage of different photos around the city and give it as a thank you gift.
That's really nice of you. Are you like close with her? Or?
Nah, but she lets me come into work all the time and hasn't said anything about my extracurricular activities.
Well, that's what we all wish for in a good boss, I guess.
Yeah, I basically come and open it and stay 7 days a week.
You don't get any vacation time?
Maybe.
No, I definitely understand that. The burning the candle at both ends.
Nah, you only burn on one hand. That way you release the smell, but you don't cause a fire.
Absolutely correct. I thank you for the book, and she's gonna leave. And she's
Oh, sure.
probably going to because like a DHL van is gonna stick out if I just park randomly. Where is our bookstore located again? It's not that far from where we are, where the Haven is, correct?
I think I put it up near the old senator. No. Yes. Can't
Yes,
remember. It's
we were talking,
yeah.
weren't we talking about putting it near where the everyman is
Yeah, that
and
might
just
have been it.
replace the
Yeah.
everyman with a crappy
Yeah.
rundown version of it?
Yeah. It's like that remodeling didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so that street having a DHL van parked there for long hours probably going to stand out. So she's probably going to either go back to base and either requisition a more uh basic vehicle or just use her own.
They do have the Lincoln you can use.
I figured a Lincoln would stand out quite a bit more. She wants to kind of fly under the radar.
That's the same kind of car you see in Men in Black, the show or the movie. So it's just kind of a black
Okay.
Cadillac. I mean, how not stand out do you want? Do you want like what would be a subtle vehicle, an ice cream machine or ice cream truck? I mean,
I was thinking just like a well, isn't like a Lincoln a really expensive car?
back in the old days, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, then she'll just do that one then.
You want to borrow the Escalade?
Um, yeah, and
They
she's
go
gonna
back to. So you going back to base or?
yeah, she'll watch for another couple hours for like maybe like 20-30 minutes or so just to see if anybody leaves the theater area and then head back to base.
So you hit on back, go
Um,
down.
and who would handle like looking into public records and everything? Would that be Queen still?
Let me see. What do I have here? My notes. Um. Um. Yeah, you're queen. Or you could just have a pawn do it.
Okay. She'll go to Queen because it feels like the information that she got is pretty good. Um, pull up and just drop the random book that she bought. So
It's
I
like
so the creepy mansion occult bookstore was a really good lead. Um, while at the brewery, I watched an anomaly. I assume it was a blank body unless I'm seeing spots. On the heat gun, and then this and now when I saw her, she looked like herself, correct? She looked like the red hair and everything, and or did she
um.
was she wearing like the everyman face?
Yeah. I think she did that when she entered the building. So when you saw her on the street, she probably looked more like Cozy, I believe.
Okay.
Either
Um,
way, you get the description of whatever she looked like at
yeah,
that time.
like 6 foot tall, long red hair, kind of box color, wearing I think a cape. Uh, donkey punched the shit out of some guy that had been
I love how I keep using the term donkey punch when it's a sexual thing only.
fuck. I forget that. Fuck.
When you anyway.
Yeah. Um apparently this Cole individual is getting teased at work. Uh there was a bit of a tussle between not much of one. The blank body kind of felled one individual. He was still breathing, obviously, but anyway, followed the blank body back to that theater. And looking into it, it looks like the theater is actually owned by somebody that's convicted or suspected with ties to the mob.
Hmm.
Um, and
That's
the staff
interesting.
mentioned that the boss is almost never around, has a lot going on, has apparently a boyfriend and a girlfriend, which not that wild, but then I saw a picture of the boyfriend and either she can get it or she's got something else going.
Interesting. Do you have a picture? Did you manage to procure the picture? Like take a picture with your phone of the picture?
I don't think she did. I feel like she would have thought that that would be too weird. No, I can describe him pretty well though. Basically, basically a model.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
and
So,
just let him know like everything that we know of like that it was bought 2 years ago. Um, and as of right now, Layla is going off the idea that the redhead is probably the owner of the building because she doesn't know any better.
hmm.
So I think I'm going to next time try and follow this Colin individual. Um, I believe he attends events there regularly.
Hmm.
See if I can strike up a conversation while there. I feel like lurking around in the bookstore is a good way to keep an eye on things.
Right, so let's keep an eye, see what's going on.
Mhm.
So we will cut through while you're just doing, basic surveillance or not couple nights, because a lot of surveillance is just
Yeah.
recording and stuff. So I move on to about timeline wise, up until about a day or so before the ceremony, which isn't that far removed. Only a couple
No, it's
days
a
past
couple
that.
days. I'm actually
Yeah.
going to send you the timeline as I have it right now,
Mhm.
so that you also have what I
Oh,
have.
our timelines.
Though 90% of it, Layla would not be privy to.
Oh yeah. Did you send that to?
To
Oh,
your
there it is.
Discord.
I found it. It just took a while to load.
Yeah, it's kind of a wall of text.
Yeah. Yeah. So you so the last couple of days of surveying stuff, how are you doing anything for Colin? Cole, Colin, Connor? Yeah, apparently you discovered while conversation that most people call him Colin.
Okay. Um,
He said he likes Colin a little bit more because Cole is his dad.
okay. She will make sure to note that. Um, and I think she'll split her time between like spending like an hour, 2 hours or so at that at the like tea shop, just drinking tea and reading, and while reading, just basically eavesdropping on conversations all over the place, and then spend a couple of hours in the vehicle, uh, doing like wiretapping stuff and checking the heat sensors to see if she can see any signs of blank bodies again.
Yeah, so you have noticed surveilling the bookstore that there's at least about two, maybe three blank bodies that roam around often, coming in and out. At least once or twice a day or night, I mean. You do see see the boyfriend pull up, and it's like saw the car, and you're just it's kind of like, huh.
Okay, kids got money. All right.
You also do privy on like Denise and stuff, and basically a lot of the information of like you don't know names or you kind of pick up some names with listening
Mhm.
in on stuff, but nothing too big. So let me look up the timeline.
I
See
feel
how this.
bad because like Kat as a player is like it would be so easy to manipulate these NPCs. On the other hand, I'm like, I'm going to get these kids killed. Um, so she is um I think she's gonna chat up the bookstore clerk a bit more
Tommy.
and get like a yeah, Tommy, and get like a repertoire with
Rapport.
him.
Hmm.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Um,
rapport.
yeah, just to try and get a little bit more information out of him.
And it's like go and start talking to him. It's like, hey, you keep returning. You must like the place.
Yeah, it's got a vibe that I really like. It's not that many places in downtown Baltimore that are quite as chill
Or
and relaxed as it is in here.
or is
Seems
it the
like,
clerk you like more? Huh? Huh?
well, I mean, I like good company too.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it could also be Dan. Dan's cool. See the Dan sitting over the they were just drinking. So I was like,
um, yeah, and she'll basically just try and get like a she doesn't want to like seduce him, but she kind of wants to just get like under his guard, become friendly with him, strike up a conversation every time he shows up, ask like
Yeah.
about his life and hobbies and that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Like my life's good. It's you know, I work a lot. Oh, how do you feel about smoking stuff?
I have indulged a time or two in the past.
I got some good stuff from one of Dan's friends. Want to have some?
Really?
Uh,
Sure.
all right. Nobody comes in around this time. Let's go to the office in the back. Goes and rolls up. Someone's like, "It's the good stuff."
Before he lights it, she wants to like see if she can convince him to let her sniff the stuff before it's burned. I don't know if that's the thing that you do because I don't smoke at all. And get like a tiny pinch of it to put into her pocket to test for.
Um, then let us roll conceal.
Because as far as she is aware, it is safe to assume
Oh,
that
sorry,
everybody in this building.
filch. Filch.
Okay,
So you
so I
roll.
have
You have 2d6. You can roll one and see if you succeed before you roll the second one, or you can roll both simultaneously.
why would
So,
I
because when you use both, then you have to you will lose a dice when you do that, and two, you spend time recovering to get the second dice back. So if you use filch now with 2 dice and a next scene or whatever, you'd only be able to
I
roll
can't
one at
use
that
it.
point. Well, you can still use it,
But
but you'll
if I
be
only
rolling one
roll
dice instead of two.
yeah, and if I roll one dice and I don't like my number, can I roll the second one with no consequences and then just
Yeah, you
not
have
use
them
it again
together.
later? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll do that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna roll the second one because I got a 2.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So an 8 total.
8. So as you're talking to him and you filch a little bit of the weed to put in your pocket, you're looking. You do notice as you're looking around the stuff, the computer and stuff, the computer of the place, whatever, and looks like someone wrote a post-it note that says password, and it's got the password written down with the work computer.
She will file that away for later information.
Just smokes a little. He's like, it's good.
Yeah, she'll smoke some of it, but not a lot because she doesn't really want to be impaired on the job, but she also doesn't want to seem suspicious. So
So you take a puff, and it's strong. You're just kind of like, basically take it like bitch.
yeah,
It's like,
I
it
mean, she
takes a
works for the
while.
government. She probably hasn't smoked in many years.
Meanwhile, back at the reserve. Yeah.
Fair.
CI shit is good. Yeah, so you just chat up and learn some things. Like as he's high and talking, he's like, "Did you know there's like, do you believe in ghosts and shit?"
I mean, I've seen some things that can't be explained. What do you
"Oh, I think this place is haunted.
really like stuff falling off shelves and things, or what?
Like the other day, I went to the theater part to store a few extra things or an overflow, and I swore people were talking to me. Like I kept
Yeah.
hearing this voice saying, "Help me, help me," and I was like, "Whoa, I am too sober for this," and walked away.
I do not blame you. That is terrifying. It's
Also,
creepy as shit. Does that happen often? Like every time you go in there, or just sometimes?
just sometimes, mostly at night.
I mean, yeah. That I mean, like what they say about the witching hour and everything. Like,
Yeah, going to the books in the store nighttimes when the veil is weaker.
makes sense.
Also, I'm telling you, I think there's vampires in the city.
Really, vampires. Why do you say that?
A lot of pale people coming in and around this place.
I mean, pale doesn't necessarily mean vampire.
Like Irish person who's never seen the sun pale.
I mean, we do have a sizable Irish population.
Like corpse pale.
Oh, that's different. That's different. I don't know how
Yeah.
to say this politely. You don't think they're just like junkies, maybe? Because I've seen a few people on the bus that like look a little
Uh,
corpse like when they're high on their choice of drug.
I've talked to some of them. They don't seem like that.
Hmm,
Also,
maybe.
you should ask Dan to do a magic trick. He's got some cool ones.
Dan does magic tricks. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to
He
ask.
made a coin appear behind my ear.
You know that one's pretty old, right?
But he didn't actually reach for it. It just was there when I reached behind my ear to grab it. He was like, hey, grab behind your ear. And there was a coin.
Huh.
Here's across the room, I tell you.
I'm going to have to see that. Yeah.
Nice. Want to make out?
Yeah. Yeah. She was debating about it. She didn't want to move too fast for him, but then she's like, no, this is too useful.
Nice. So after 5 minutes, you hear the bell ring outside, out front, like ding, ding. It's like, oh, customer. Oh.
She'll make a show of like fixing her shirt and everything while he goes.
I just hear it now when our crew watches this episode. Just Callie, damn it, Tommy.
Goes immediately from you need a biggest raise ever to you're fucking fired. But she don't know shit.
Tommy might not either with all this stuff he's smoking.
Probably not. I think she's gonna like look and see based on the room we were in and where the front desk is. How quickly do I think Tommy could get back here?
Only a few moments. It's like right behind the counter.
But not like a few seconds.
No, you'd have to go around the counter and stuff and open the door.
Okay, she's going to she's got the opportunity. She's gonna try and get into the computer, see if she can find anything.
All right, let's see what kind of shit you got.
I do have electronic surveillance and research, if that helps at
Okay.
all.
Yeah, so you go through I'll say because timing is of you don't know the kind of timing, you just download as much as you can to a flash drive.
Mhm.
A few moments there, the door was like, yeah, oh, the boss is probably gonna be returning soon. You probably shouldn't be back here.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Was just
Okay.
letting some of it waved off.
Yeah. That's nice. Okay. There you go. We just see Dan at the table was like,
She'll wink at him. And
whispers under his breath, I'm the only one in this place not getting shit.
I mean, that's his choice. I feel like he could probably get it if he wanted to.
Yeah, it's like,
Wait, wasn't he wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Maybe not.
yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, I think that one she's going to get back to the vehicle and check what she managed to filch on that flash drive first.
See, most of the stuff you're seeing is actually business related. But you, let's see, what kind of investigating, research, tradecraft, traffic analysis, urban. So I'm just looking at what your character sheet has. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing some, looking into it, you do notice an unusual amount of influx of monies. So it's like the amount of money this place earns versus the amount of money that is going back and stuff is kind of not matching properly. So it looks like whoever's doing it might be doing it more as a passion project in a way, because it's
Okay.
not super profitable comparatively.
Okay. So looks less like embezzlement and more like they're burning money to keep the doors open.
Yeah, like they could work a bit more. Apparently, they should be selling more banana nut muffins. They're a really good seller, but there's only a handful of the store at a time. Most of them seem to be reserved for special guests, like a
Yeah,
reward
she'll
program.
yeah, she's I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could gather from a just random information on a computer like that. Um, would this computer maybe have access to the security cameras if there are any?
Um, let's see what you got. So yeah, so I'll say when you were in there, you did besides just downloading stuff, you also managed to upload a basically like a Trojan of some sort that allows you to remotely access the computer and the security and stuff.
Okay, yeah, she'll definitely keep an eye on that then. Um, and
As you're saying that you do get a call on the radio. It's
I'll
like,
answer it.
it's like at night.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bishop here.
What's up?
We got um a blank body in. Some
Where at?
I don't know. So apparently they found it in Jarrettsville. Um yeah. Another
Jarrettsville. What
division.
the fuck is in Jarrettsville?
Jack and shit.
All right, I'll be in.
Yeah. Connecting
Um,
two games no one's ever seen.
what was
It's like,
that?
connecting it to a game we forgot to record.
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. She will finish up there for the night and then head back to base, I guess, to see this blank body that they found.
Yeah. You go in there, you see Bishop, who's like medical and science and stuff, and two pawns, and on the table is a appears to be a man with a half a pool cue in his chest. And they're like a little burnt too, but yeah. Someone from another uh King said a individual from another unit that operates in other areas brought it in. I don't know what part of First Light they're part of, but we were the closest area with a full lab.
By a pool cue?
Well, I'm guessing they did the staking that we know paralyzes them, but doesn't kill them for some reason.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why the pool cue. Like, did they fight in a bar?
They said they found him at a hotel.
All right. Is it dead?
Well, it's blank body, so they always kind of go with dead. We're
Look
about
like
to
that.
hook it. Yeah, we just secured it. I was going to pull the queue out and see what happens.
All right.
As he says that, you see the two of the pawns just grab shotguns and are just like,
She'll make sure that she's got yeah, the shotgun would be the most effective, right? Because the regular like handgun I have wouldn't do jack and shit to him.
yeah, you went light, so there was like, to the side there's some extras.
Yeah, she'll get one of those.
pulls it out, and the person's like, ah, ah. It's like, ooh, we got a live one here once we pull them out. I always like that. It's almost like the opposite of busting a pimple. And your
What's
problem is like,
pimple like?
you get a pimple and you're just like, pah, and it's satisfying as you burst out. When you pull it out in this one, it's just like, yeah, and they come. It's like, and the guy and the blank body is just thrashing. It's like, I will kill. Oh, he's talking. And the entire time, the blank body is just starting to curse up a storm and calling everyone every name. But Bishop's just like, yeah, they do tend to do that when no, sorry, Rook. This is Bishop. Bishop's R&D. This is Rook. Sorry, got him backwards. Rook's like, yeah. So yeah, they like cussing and stuff. Anyway, I was going to do some experiments, but you want to assist me?
Sure.
All right, I was going to cut off the arm and see how long it takes to heal. Would you like to cut it?
I'm good.
All right.
She's a little squeamish about it, but she doesn't want to admit that in front of anybody.
Yeah. So it does a few things and experiments, and got after a bit, the blank body just kind of seems to pass out. It's like, oh, they do this a lot. They pretend to pass out like they need stuff. We just put some more blood in them and they'll be fine.
I mean, if they need more blood, is it because they are pretending or because they actually ran out?
Thing is, like the amount of the blood loss should just kill them, but it doesn't. But they also act as if they feel pain, but I'm not sure they really do. They shrug off a lot of stuff that should be painful, but they don't.
Well,
But,
there's pain and then there's like organ failure. There are those like fish that if they don't have enough food can go into like stasis for a long time.
yeah, stasis. That's good.
Maybe that's what it is. It's like a protective coma sort of thing.
Hmm.
So it's still alive,
Yeah.
but in hibernation maybe.
Yeah. We're hoping that this isn't a feral one and we can actually get some stuff out of it.
Pharaoh one.
Yeah, sometimes they're so like consumed by whatever it is that blank bodies have that they just don't talk and they're just like, ah, blood, blood, blood. Like, yeah. But yeah, we just thought you would know because of this, you are the field ops commander for the most part. So if this guy gets loose, or if you wanted to interrogate after that, get some more blood in it.
Yeah, once you finish up here, I'll definitely want to ask him some questions.
All right, yeah, we'll put him in the interrogation chamber, probably ready for tomorrow night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, based on yeah, I think after that she's just going to look at like whatever research we have on blank bodies to like figure out how they work, any of the like internal like their social structure, if we know anything at all about it. So I know we know that the tremors are kind of a big deal locally, at least in that little bookshop that I've been visiting often, to see if there's any connection. Like the notes from this op in Jarrettsville, do they say anything about where these blank buddies came from, if they have any allies or anything, if they know fuck all at all?
According to the field report, they killed a lot of people in a bar, and then some independent agents tracked down 3 of them, eliminated 2, and managed to preserve this one.
Okay, well, that explains the pool cue, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as you're doing that, King calls you to the office.
Okay, I'll go in.
Like, Knight, we've picked up a weird anomaly with one of the field agents.
Really?
Um, Yeah, apparently a couple hours ago, a large group of blank bodies seem to be gathering.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And you
unusual for
said,
such a large group.
so when you say weird anomaly, you mean one of the field agents noticed something or
Yeah,
okay.
they've been following a few leads and have
Yeah, where is it at?
noticed a large gathering. Um, Morrow Parkish area, I think. Here's
Okay.
the address. I want you to take 2 pawns and see what you can observe.
Okay. Now, here's a question. For all of the time that Layla's been doing this sort of thing, how easy is it for agents like us to infiltrate large gatherings of blank bodies?
Uh, it's not easy when it's mainly them. Like occasionally they'll be at bars and
Okay, so
clubs
when there
and
are other mortals, it's easier.
mhm,
Okay, so we'll probably just do surveillance from the street then.
mhm.
Yeah, she'll take two pawns. What are their names and what are they like?
Codename Pawn 2 and Pawn 4.
Okay.
Mhm. One is a about 5'7" African American, got a short buzzed hair, wearing a blue button-up shirt with a tie, no jacket. And the other one is a Hispanic woman, short hair, um, wearing jeans and like a t-shirt with her side arm on.
Okay. So first, if we're going into Morrow Park, you both need to change because if we have to get out of the van, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb.
She looks at
Well,
her,
you're fine, but maybe put the sidearm behind something, under something.
puts a jacket on. The other guy's like, "But fashion, man."
There's fashion, and then there's not standing out.
Goes to the closet, comes out with a anime shirt on and jeans.
Perfect.
Better.
Yes.
Puts jacket on and gets his thing. It's like, did we need a higher weapon load?
Um, we should. I don't expect to use it. I just want to do surveillance on this one. It's not worth risking the whole operation just to go guns blazing into a crowd of blank bodies we'll never win against.
But I'll grab the distance weapons.
Yeah.
Are you taking the van or the Lincoln?
Morrow Park, the van maybe wouldn't stand out too bad. What time of night is it?
I believe the meeting was at midnight.
What area is it? If it's like a parking lot, then we might be able to get away with it. If it's street parking, then no.
I did describe there was a field where people were parking at one point. It's like, oh, we could use just put on the different paint job,
That would be better. Yeah, let's do that.
and they go to the thing. He looks at it. They pull out a little panel, and you just see the thing kind of like morph a bit into a more generic black van. It's like, yeah, it's a everything company. Yeah,
That is
it's
some
like
fancy tech.
it's like yeah, it's a new thing. We White King brought in. Said some friends in DC have been developing this stuff. Same with Bishop and R&D, and some advanced things. But unfortunately, we either get the stuff that's prototype that doesn't function all the time, or very limited uses.
Well, I mean, that's what you usually end up with no matter where you are. So
Yeah. Now, if only they could give us raises, right?
be nice.
Yeah.
Spending a fucking fortune on teas at that little bookshop.
Oh, the one near the with the burnt out building.
Mhm.
Yeah, I go there often for the tea and the banana nuts. You
Yeah,
got to get
keep
really early to get a banana nut because most of them are on reserve for special guests.
Yeah, keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure there are at least two Blankbodies that live on the premises.
Hmm. Oh well. And there's a new
Openly
shop
enough that apparently one of the staff is suspecting of it, if not outright positive.
upon to is just like, yeah. I don't know if you saw reports and stuff because we all do different things, boss. But apparently we've got some reports from uh the other field agents like from and day shift, and I've noticed stuff that there's a group going around that are I think they're looks like blank bodies that really stand out.
How so?
One of them wears a cape.
Yeah, that's the one that I've been following. Box right hair, pretty obvious.
Yeah, like we noticed them. There is one amongst them though that's very interesting. Like when we're observing, she like has higher body temperature. Like she'll be pale and then just her body temperature and look goes up and her skin gets darker and looks normal and can just blend in if that she wasn't around a bunch of the others that look like walking corpses. Yeah, we
Jesus, that's a
wanted.
new thing they have, so they can change their face and they can also change.
I don't think it's a new thing. I think it just might be something we've never really observed in the field before. We wouldn't have noticed it until we discovered several bank bodies. What was it, O'Donovan's place?
Mm.
We were outside at a couple blocks and noticed people coming and going. And like I said, this one group just kept pinging our stuff, but they always had the
Oof.
one who doesn't ping all the time. It's really
Mm.
interesting.
Are
Occasionally, a few others do it, but
Oh, so like we see the transition. It's not just like
yeah,
a servant or
it's almost like they do something to get the blood flowing or like heat up, like they
could it be
blush a bit
tech
more.
based, do you think?
Might be.
Because like my first thought was like, oh, like heating pads, but if it changes their complexion, then that's kind of tough.
Yeah. Maybe we observe it and while we're out here.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm. So you pull up to the thing, get surveillance. So audio wise, you actually hear a lot of the conversations that we heard the thing where you got so you probably block a park a block or so away, so it's less
Noticeable.
noticeable, and using the sound amplifiers and stuff. You do notice Pawn 4 has a a pretty high caliber sniper
Hmm.
rifle. Positions herself on top of a um house that's doesn't appear to be anyone living there, or they work the night shift, so she has a bit more of an angle in case someone gets near you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Um, so she's going to listen and just try and get as much information as we can and instruct that we should be recording everything, obviously. Um, and she specifically wants to keep an eye out for if we see any stragglers. If any of them break off from the crowd and leave, I want to maybe follow them. Perhaps on foot so that pawn 2 and 4 have an out if they need.
Mhm. So after a bit, they start separating, people going in groups and stuff. Pawn 2 is like, there's one of them going on their own towards I think it's Griff Avenue or something like that. Should all three of us kind of follow, or do you want to follow? Well, um,
What do they look like?
let's find a random soul. Sounds good, huh?
Hmm.
So much put so much effort into it. Okay.
God, I'm a nerd. I was just
Mm,
wondering, I'm like, can I make a formula for the Google Sheets document we have of all the NPCs that can randomly select one?
yes, you're probably good. You see a what appears to be a teenager, a black female teenager. Um, she's kind of just has long hair and a ponytail, wearing jeans and what appears to be a DMX t-shirt, walking up the street. Um, as you go on in pawn twos, or pawn three, no, it's pawn 2 and 4, yeah.
Yeah, four
Four
is
on
on
the
the roof.
yeah. You hear 4 on the roof, like, hey, I'm losing sight of them if you're just going to stay here because they're going up a different street. But their core temperature is a bit looks a bit higher than normal. So I think this is one of those ones that are like half breed, maybe.
Ah, the Diet Coke ones.
Yeah, we got reports of some of them, but yeah, this one has a lot. The temperature is a lot higher. It's like almost 78, 80 degree body temperature, as opposed to like the 30, 40 degree stuff. Do you want us to follow or do you want to handle this? I can still
Um,
keep an eye on the gathering as stragglers go around
yeah,
if you want.
you stay there, keep eyes on it. I'm debating if we should risk maybe attempting a grab and run. Because we do have the van.
Guys, like, hey, I'm up for whatever you're up for.
Yeah, let's do that. Pawn 4, keep eyes on the gathering. We'll give you a call if we need help. The way she's going, hopefully you should be able to sprint across rooftop to us if we need some range support.
As pawn two's like, hey, do you want to take the V
Oh, we're
formula?
taking the van.
Oh, I was going to say, do you want? Or you think
Yeah,
we
it's probably. How often do we
mean,
get the stuff, Gavin?
not often. It's reserved for emergencies when you know you're going to have to get in a major fight. You also know it's a bit addictive.
Okay, she doesn't think this person is too much of a threat at the moment, so she's gonna hold off because it's something that she can use like in the middle of a fight, but just by taking her around, right? If I have to.
Mhm.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. So you see, are you driving or are you having the pawn two drive?
Let us see. Do I have driving? Is that a thing?
Um,
I have 2 dice in driving, so I will do that.
straight drive, kind of narrow. See the person just walking. Pawn two pulls out the black hood.
Yeah, she's gonna try and make it as subtle as possible until we get up on this person and just snatch him off the street.
All right. So you get up. You go to pull out. I guess this should be a good old probably fighting.
Okay.
Note from what I can tell, I'm pretty sure the one-on-one gumshoe system, which we're currently using, and not using the V5 system, because we just wanted to try different things. Still same universal as I said earlier at the beginning of the game. It's player facing, so I don't think you just have to beat a DC. There's not like opposing checks, I don't believe, in this version.
All right. So I'm gonna do the same thing as before, just roll my 1 and see what I get, and then roll the other if I need to.
Do you have any edges or anything you could utilize?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
Um, at this point, I don't think so. Yeah, unless I have any penalties. The only thing I might have would be ice cold, which is cool mastery and lets me ignore all penalties on a test. I'm gonna roll my second dice as well.
Okay.
Oh, 4 total.
4. All right. So you go out as you guys try to do the thing, and she reacts, like freaks out and stuff, and she pulls out a knife, slashes, and you get a damage problem. It's called an injury problem.
All right, I have an injury tracker.
So you mark one of those.
All right, so I guess I was at 0. Now I'm at 1.
Yeah, and you gain let's see what we have here. Uh You got what's called clawed. Basically, nothing vital got hit, but you're bleeding badly.
Okay.
The cuts is like and they start running like ah.
Fuck it. So the street we're on, how visible is it?
It's where your gran used to live.
Okay. And it's are there any other people out that we can see?
It's almost 1 o'clock at night, so probably not many people.
Okay. Um, she's gonna chance it. We're too close to a dickload of Blankbodies to risk causing a scene. I'm gonna try and hit her with the shotgun.
Which shotgun?
The one with the stake to try and shut her up. Because
Alright.
once they're in that like stasis thing, they can't talk.
So that'll be shooting.
Okay. And now for the thing where I when I spend the extra dice, I can only do those certain number of times, right? So like I spent it for fighting.
Every thing has two, and when you use it one time, it then goes down to one, and two you can
Okay.
refresh.
But because I
yourself.
haven't done it for shooting yet, I can use both.
Yep.
Okay. But when I used I can't remember what it was. Filch earlier, is that still there? Still spent or no? Because it's been a couple of days.
Was it a couple days? Wait, what do we use Filch on?
That was when I got into the computer.
Yeah, that's
okay. I
the day
couldn't
before.
remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that marked still.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm gonna mark thing for shooting. Well, I'm gonna see what I get first. I'm gonna stir my dice. Woo!
What'd you get?
I think I'm gonna risk just going with this. I got a 6.
Oh, well, you would have succeeded, but if you roll again, you can get something called a advantage stuff.
I'll do that then. So a 9 total.
Right. So you gain something called a extra push. I forgot to tell you, you get something called 3 pushes, where a push is essentially you saying, I use this skill, this investigative ability, or whatever, and get better or more information than standard. I think we use it's like back in some other Gumshoe games where you spend points.
Yeah.
But there's no points, it says pushes in this one. So you do that, so you fire and it just like pierces through and the person's like
okay. And then I guess we're gonna zoom up and grab her.
Yeah. You know, it's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Guys like pulls and is like, oh shit, these died Blankbodies bleed a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, Layla's having like questions of if this person actually was one or if she misjudged, but she's gonna get him into the vehicle, and if the blood doesn't start coagulating, she's gonna keep the stake in, but attempt to like pack the wound so that they stop bleeding all over the van.
Oh, a lot of blood.
Because they're no use to us if they're dead.
Well, I mean, the body doesn't turn
not as much use.
Yeah. I just want to read something real quick to double check things.
Yeah. And then, so the stuff that we heard at the meeting, I assume we now know that there is a group called the Anarchs.
Yeah, it's like you've heard names, but you're not sure what those details mean. Like,
yeah.
What is a Camelila and what are Anarchs? You know, they're like groupings, but you're not sure like details or how they connect to each other and all that. As far as your group can, or do you think the Anarchs are just a bunch of like anarchists who want to burn down the city and stuff like that?
Now there's a real big question, Kevin. Oh fuck! I think it happened. We left too early. Does
You guys.
Pawn
Oh,
4 see anything flying?
yeah. Yeah. As you're doing that, as you go, the Blankbodies is like and he's like, whoa! It didn't paralyze him. Didn't paralyze him. Um.
Fuck.
Uh. Oh, they're still alive. And the guy's just like, pulls out something. It's like,
Yeah, do we
ah,
have any kind of like tranquilizer
yeah.
drugs or
You just see him.
anything?
Yeah, you just see him grab what appears to be some tranks. And it's just like, whoa! And the bird's like, ah. You see little baby fangs, barely big enough to like pierce skin. Just like,
Mm.
it's like, he's
Okay,
like,
so it seems like the
that
Diet
normally,
Diet
yeah,
Coke baby fang ones, the staking doesn't work, and
not the same way.
they
Should
seem
probably
like
get
they
back to
don't
base.
heal as quickly. Oh yeah, no, we're heading that way
And
immediately.
you just hear on the radio, it's like, holy fucking shit.
4, are you okay? What happened?
You're not gonna believe what I just saw.
Hit me. What is it?
I'm gonna send you my feed real quick from my cam.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Layla
with
will
the
jump
guns and
in
stuff,
the
yeah, they
front
got
seat
a
and
cam.
check the like um computer or whatever that she's sending it to.
Sends it. You just see like looking out the scope and stuff, just in the distance, people walking and just this big thing with the wings, just like does a few things and just flies off. It's like, what the fuck was that? Seriously, you're seeing what I just saw.
Okay, maybe the only one that's very strongly reminded of the 90s cartoon.
Bonkers?
No, gargoyles. What the fuck?
Huh. Did you know that what people think of gargoyles are actually grotesques and gargoyles are actually the ones that are on the building allowing water to fall through? They're actually two separate things in architecture?
I know this now. Can we track where it's going?
No, unfortunately, I didn't, invest in the aerial drone tracking tonight.
A direction at least would be nice.
Uh, Weast.
What did he do? Did he just show up and then fly off?
Yeah, it showed up and grabbed a guy and just flew off.
Wait, it grabbed one of their own? Jesus fuck, is this another thing that we have to worry about? All right, whatever. Let's get back to base. We'll pick you up on the way, and then we'll get around to that building where she's perched on top of, pick her up, and get back to HQ.
She gets in, it's like, yeah, like this guy like this one blank body approached another one, and I guess they were talking. That it looks like they were buddies or something. Like they were like having a conversation and started walking away, and one walked away and the other one got in a car, and next thing I know, that thing just bam and woo.
All right, okay.
And she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
and why is there a lot of blood and why is there a 16-year-old on the ground with a stake through their chest?
Apparently the baby teeth bleed a lot more than the full-blooded ones.
Ah, oh
And we will
yeah, I
floor it
heard
back
that.
to base. And I'll call ahead and
Um,
let them know that we have somebody that is definitely blank body adjacent, but bleeding out faster than they normally would.
so like pull in and go down to the garage, and a couple of the other uh pawns come out with a stretcher with Rook, and they
Mhm.
just grab the body. He's like, oh, this is amazing. You don't get many blank body many what do we call it, the diet ones,
Yeah, the Diet Coke ones.
but two blank bodies in one night. Oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Or, so they go, and after a bit of medical thing, the guy's like, all right, so good news,
Mhm.
they're not dead.
Good.
Yeah, pull the stake out, and they did start healing some once I started giving the blood solution that we give them.
Okay. So definitely a blank body, but not as sturdy as the others.
Yeah, like it did a lot of damage to them, like hurt. I'm guessing. Guess they're not as resilient.
Yeah. Wonder what it is. Maybe they. Mm.
You're
Well,
awake.
we
Did you
have.
want to interrogate them?
Yeah. First, I want you to look at a thing just so I can know that we're not all going crazy and hallucinating, though,
All right.
because we saw something interesting, and she'll
Okay.
pull up on the computer the footage of the gargoyle.
It's like, ooh, let's. You know what? Hold on. It gets a goes the intercom on the wall. He's like, King, Queen, everybody, I'm going to throw something onto the monitors. Check this shit out. And he goes and uploads and a couple of the monitors, and
Just hear from
as he
down the
says that,
hall. Holy fuck!
just hear people like, what? And King gets on the the intercom is like, everybody to the main room.
Yeah.
So you and the 10 of you are in the room, and King sitting on at his desk, like watching the video and looping is like, so that's new.
Yeah, it is.
That is unexpected.
It didn't seem like it was in the same. They weren't on the same side, but they did mention there's like this group that we were watching tonight are anarchs, and then there's the Canaria or something like that.
Hmm.
So it could be a Canaria. It could be something else. It might not even be a blank body. Did you get like a temperature read on it, or was it too far out for that?
It's too far out for a really good one, but it. I mean, there are some that are that ugly, but
Yeah, but the wings are definitely new.
and it was like 7 feet tall. Thing was huge. Look what it did to the car.
I mean, we've seen really strong ones before, but the flight is new and terrifying. It's a lot more ostentatious than they usually are, isn't it?
Yeah, they're a lot more. King's like, yes, they tend to be more subtle because they don't want people knowing. It's like predators don't like the prey knowing that they're around, so they can run.
That seems like I mean, like I know that whatever this meeting was tonight, it's obvious that they're trying that these two groups are clashing, but it definitely seems like based on that, they're not afraid of
Mhm. We'll be up.
overflow.
Yeah, we are sending this footage to HQ to see what they're saying. In the meantime, Knight, since it's your more of your domain, find out what those two blank bodies we have to say.
Absolutely.
So who do you want to talk to first?
Um, she's gonna talk to the one that just came in first.
Like the one that came in first tonight, or the one that just came in?
The baby teeth, the Diet Coke
Right.
one.
There you go. You see them in a room, strapped to a chair. You see an IV with the blood solution going in. It's like, ah, who are you? What, where am I?
You're in a concealed location. I'm trying to think how like as far as like secret agent names, are these things that we would give out the like contacts or anything?
As far as you know, you generally just refer to yourself as your chess piece.
Yeah, as Knight, I mean.
Yeah.
You can call me Agent Knight. I
I didn't do anything. I just want to go home.
I could maybe arrange that. First, I need some information. The people that you were with tonight, they are.
I don't know. I don't know most of their names. I just got the invite.
How'd you get the invite?
There's a friend of mine just gave it to me, like another person that I hang out with.
So was it like a piece of paper? Was it a text message? Did she tell you by word of mouth?
We were just hanging out and she told me that there'd be a gathering and I showed up because, something to do. Please don't kill me. I got class tomorrow.
We're not going to kill you. If we were going to kill you, we wouldn't have wasted all the effort of patching you back up.
But I didn't do anything. I didn't break any laws.
I just need information. You might not have broken any laws, but the other people that were in that meeting, they have done some pretty horrific shit. So,
I see some like reddish tears coming down. You do hear over the intercom out Rook's like, Knight, quick word.
yeah, go on.
Works who's the medical person, whatever is that. It's fascinating. Like she's showing real, almost real human emotions. This is interesting. Keep it up.
I'm starting to believe it.
Oh, it's just a thing predators do. Like the ones that make noise. Like what is it? Cats sound like babies, so that we take them in so that they can drain our souls.
So I hear you, but we domesticated cats.
Did we? Did we?
Could we do it to this one?
I have
Patch her
heard
up,
about.
cut her loose,
I
have her
have
feed us
heard
information.
that some units around there have been using some of the diets as double agents. Some of them actually have come to us. So yeah, keep it up though. And if you can get a sample of those tears, that'd be nice too. I want to see if it's the same as the tears on the last person I researched. Here's a vial.
Okay. I feel dirty. Yeah.
Go back in. She's like, I want to just go home to my mom.
You'll go home to mom. Relax. I just want to talk. So those people there was one in charge, right? A Robin.
I don't know who he is. I just that's the first time I've seen him.
Okay, well, who do you know there? Anybody you recognized?
Um, there's a friend of mine that I hang out with that was there.
And what's her name?
Uh,
I
You're gonna
promise
hurt-
I'm not gonna kill her. I need to know who she is so that I know not to touch her.
His name is Harvey.
And what's Harvey look like?
He's like looks around my age. He's got like a small little fro. He's a black. He's and she just gives a generalized description. But don't hurt him.
I'm not gonna hurt him.
I mean, I know he's a telemarketer, but that doesn't mean anyone should hurt him. We gotta earn money.
I understand that.
I still gotta study for my test tomorrow. I should go.
This is Kat trying to remember what all was said in that meeting, if there was anything specific. Oh, there was okay, so they basically talked about how they're gonna go after the mortals that everybody is involved with. Cruel as it is, FIRSTLIGHT probably isn't overly concerned with that because they're already under the control of vampires anyway.
But that is really good information for them to have.
Oh yeah, it's good information for us to have, but it's nothing that we really need to act on.
You also know from your own personal experience that some of those people might be innocent and are just victims.
We only ever heard it. We didn't actually see him passing out anything.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily know that some of them have paper lists of names.
Yeah, mainly the anything that was verbally said for the
Yeah,
most part. And you're still going through the data because there's lots of
yeah.
voices. So anything that wasn't the loud booming voice of him is all muttered. So they're doing data analysis of that now, or electronic.
So they were talking about going after other mortals.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna. I
I
didn't want to
believe
do it.
you. I know. I understand. I know that
The only reason I didn't leave when everyone else did initially is because I just
it's
I was.
understandable. You're a child in a den of predators. I understand far better than you might think. I just need to know what they're planning so I can try and help as many people
They
like your mom and other
they
people.
they said that they were planning on over of killing people to overthrow the Camarilla and so that this becomes anarch territory across the city.
And then what is the Camarilla?
It's a group of old people who control things. I shouldn't be. No, I can't tell you anything else. They'll kill me if they know I'm saying stuff. But you're going to kill me.
Threat analysis, dear. Sometimes you got to think about which one you're more scared of. And right now you're kind of on our turf.
When you shot me through the chest with a stake, it hurt so bad. I've never felt such pain. I thought I was going to die. I felt my life ebbing from me. It was getting dark.
I and she'll scoot slightly closer and I'll be honest, I didn't think that it was going to do as much as it did, damage as it did.
There's a shotgun with a stake. What do you think it was going to do?
In my experience, it more often does paralysis. You're not like the others, the older ones, are you?
No, no. Uh, they call us thin bloods. They say that are we're like halves or something. That we're not pure kindred. I think that's the term they use. I'm not sure. I've only been like this for like less than a year, maybe a year at most. I was out walking one night and I got attacked, and I just then I started needing blood and needing and having hunger, and I killed a neighborhood cat to drink the blood because I was hungry and could like I can eat and but it doesn't stay down all the time and sometimes comes up at the end of the night and then I feel drowsy in the mornings as I walk around.
I'm gonna put my hand in hers and be like, the things that you've done, you did to survive. It's understandable. You didn't ask
I've,
for this.
I,
What you can do now, though, is do something to try and help other people, to make sure that no one else gets jumped in an alleyway and turned into something that drains neighborhood cats at night.
I, I have never killed anyone. My friend and a few others that were trying to teach me some things. They actually have fangs that they can pierce. I don't. I gotta drink things out of syringes and oh, that they bring me bags with blood. I don't know where they get it from. I hope it's not someone who died because it's fresh. It's not been pasteurized.
Well, if it's in a bag, it probably didn't come by way of fang, at least.
I know. And then sometimes when it gets too hard, I find like rats or pigeons. I don't get many pigeons. You know how fast those fuckers are.
I've seen them, yeah. Well, I can
But
assure you that as long as you're here,
I don't feed often. I only every now and then. Only had to do it a handful of times, and I just want I go to school. I know I shouldn't have stayed up so late for this, but I, this is my last year in school.
you'll go to class tomorrow. I promise you. And as long as you're here, you're not going to get staked again and you're going to be fed.
I also got a huge hole in my shirt.
We can get you another. We have plenty that will match very closely to it.
It also destroyed my bra.
Yeah, that one's a little harder, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, like it just shot me straight through the back and throughout the front. It's like through and through. That's how my uncle died. Not the stake, through and through. He got shot through the chest. It's just right through. It's Baltimore.
So
People get shot all the time.
look at it like this. By helping us out, you'll make sure that no one has to deal with what you've dealt with. And once we ensure that the monsters that did this to you aren't around anymore, you can also maybe make sure that nothing happens like what happened to your uncle.
My name is Morgan. So I think my uncle's going to get shot one way or another. He was trying to hustle down the street.
You understand what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. Yeah, his last words were, got money in one pocket, weed in the other. He has a job.
God damn you, Kevin. Yeah, so Layla's gonna like chat her up, trying to get her calmed down, explain that it was an accident, we want to help. Get her to the point where she is not going to bleed out, that
Yeah, her wounds seem to have healed. She does seem to heal about as fast as you've seen Blankbodies do. Though she is going through the pack of blood a lot faster
Yeah.
as she's healing.
After she's convinced that she's calmed down a little bit, I'm gonna go back out to Rook and
Like,
see what he thinks of everything.
fascinating. Did
I-
you get the samples?
Can I say that I like at one point while she was crying, like brushed away a tear or two?
Sure.
Okay, then yeah.
It's like nice. It's fascinating. Like
I
almost
don't
like normal person. Not like normal Blankbodies. Ooh, we don't get many of these diet ones.
thin bloods, they say, apparently.
Thin blood. So I guess the other ones are thick blood
I guess.
or fat blood.
Gonna go with a no on that one. If that's what they call it, we're not calling it that. But I feel like we're best served if I don't like the idea of it, but if we're gonna cut this one loose, we should do it soon. She's got family that are living. I don't want them looking for her.
You probably want to talk to King about what to do if you're going to do more than just
Obviously, yeah.
keep them around. Did you ask him about the flying one?
She was gone before that happened, so I don't think she saw it.
She might should know what that is.
I can ask, yeah. I think first I'm gonna go talk to King and see what he thinks about the idea of cutting her loose.
Good. I'll get the other one prepped. That one was
Okay.
ornery. It almost bit me. Can you believe it?
You wearing
I
your collar?
Yeah, I'm wearing the protection. I even have the special gloves. But I was trying to put the IV into it, and it just tried to bite me. Can you believe that? One of the pawns had hit in the back of the head with a butt of a shotgun.
Did that even do anything?
Not really. I think
Yeah.
I wonder if shock collars will work.
Oh, taser maybe.
I don't know. It's different experiments.
I mean,
Wonder
like the nerve endings seem to be alive enough to actually make the body move and to
Yeah.
feel pain.
Now, according to stories, garlic and hurts them. So maybe a garlic solution of some sort.
I mean, you can try it. I don't know how effective it'll be.
We do know crosses and stuff don't seem to work for 99% of people.
Who's the 1% that it does work for?
Apparently people, like a handful of people just seem to be, it just seems to work, but they tend to be very religious people.
I wonder if it's more of like a psychosomatic thing of like the Blankbodies believe that it should work because the other person believes it should.
That's a working theory we were having, yeah.
No.
Anyway, we're gonna go prepare the other one. I gotta pull the fangs again.
Mm. And make sure she's got enough blood to last the night. And then I'm gonna go find King.
Then the central thing is like, oh, Knight, have you discovered anything about that thing?
Not as much about that thing, but I may have a ticket into the Anarchs as it is. The Diet Coke we brought in, the one with the baby teeth.
Mm-hmm.
She's new to this, only turned about a year ago. 17 at this point. She's still in school, has family. She claims to have never killed anything other than a cat and shows a surprising amount of remorse about it. She's been very talkative. I feel like she might be more useful on the street than in here.
I have heard that we have some of these diet operatives out there. So it can work, though we need to keep an eye and a good handle on them.
Oh, obviously. And if we get to the point where we can trust her, she's tough as fuck. She
Have
took a
Queen
stake through the heart and is fully healed.
Yeah, I get heartburn when I have a steak.
Yeah.
But have Queen run a background check on her to make sure she doesn't have any criminal activities or record that's thing. And if not, then we can release her, but make sure we put a tracker and stuff upon her, and then we will let White Shift know, and they can keep an eye in the morning. You said she goes to school, like night school?
I wasn't clear. She said something about having a test tomorrow. But she also mentioned that she has trouble staying awake during the day, but she seemed to imply that she can sometimes, which is further evidence to the idea that she is an entirely different breed than what we're used to.
The tiredness could just be being that she is a teenager who seems to be staying up until almost 2 in the morning.
Yeah, but the healing after getting a log through the chest indicates something else.
Yeah. So you should inquire as you put the tracker and stuff in if they can walk in the day. I've heard rumors, the grapevine, that would be
helpful.
Yeah, kind of like one of the Renfields, but more on the inwards. I'm sorry, I know you've had the past with the Renfield situation.
Yeah, I feel like I could have been this girl in another life.
Now, don't get too attached until we know for certain.
Yeah. And I believe I'm going to go check out the full blood, is it? Apparently. She calls herself a thin blood, whatever that means.
Oh, thin. So the other ones are
I guess
thick
makes sense. She did bleed quite a lot.
Fat blood, maybe?
Okay, we're not calling it that.
Thick blood.
No. Okay, that's slightly better.
Big blood?
Absolutely not. Goodbye.
You're gonna regret this figuring out the name.
I feel like Blankbodies suffices
to distinguish the thin Blankbodies from the thick Blankbodies. Yeah, I guess we'll just do thick. Thick blankers. Or thick bodies.
Just imagining like fucking full on Dracula with the long hair, but with like yoga pants that have thick on the butt. Aya, if you're watching this, I need art.
All right.
Yeah. And then she'll go check out the other guy.
You go in and you just see her like, as you look and you see one, the mouth is bloody, and you see Brooke over there putting fangs into one of the those kidney shaped things that doctors use. It's like they'll grow back in a bit, but this will make it easier for us not to get bit. Ain't that right?
She'll make sure before she goes into this room to put on the vest with the collar and everything.
And you see two of the pawns are just like sitting there with shotguns. Like, we don't have much time. Apparently, I just got word from king before you went to talk to him. I don't know if you mentioned it. He's got busy. That
Yeah.
special operative is coming from DC and should be here shortly.
Oh, okay.
How he's getting here so fast? Well, we did contact them when they first came here, so that might be fast enough to get from DC to here. It's
No,
been a
I
couple
mean
hours.
it's also late, so traffic is much less.
True, but yeah, special operative is coming to take over
Depending on
interrogation.
how special they are, it could be in a helicopter.
Mm. Yeah, we don't get those too often in Baltimore. Last time one came, somebody stole the damn rims.
Okay. Yeah, so she's gonna pull up a chair next to the blank body and just wait
Like-
until he stops screaming.
It's like, just spits blood at you.
You quite finished?
What do you want to know, bitch? You're going to just kill us anyway. Don't know why you haven't yet. Say
Because
the-
you're still useful at the moment.
Nah,
The more you talk, the more useful you are, the longer you live.
the longer I can prepare to how to break out of this place, then I'll gut you like a pig and eat your insides. Then I'll take his
So-
insides and strangle you with his intestines. And then I'm going to take his head and shove it up the guy over there with a shotgun's ass.
If you're
And then
quite
I'm going to
finished,
take that guy's shotgun and shove it up his ass.
where did we pick this guy up? This was the one in Jarrettsville, right?
Yeah.
So what were you doing in Jarrettsville?
Same thing everyone does in Jarrettsville. Nothing. We were just having a fun time hunting, feeding off your kind, drinking your blood, eating your flesh, because that's what we do. We're superior hunters.
You know, I do seem to recall we're not the ones that rolled in here with a pool cue sticking out of our chest.
Well, when you catch a predator in their home and catch them while they're sleeping.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, my intel says you were pretty fucking stupid. A motel is not the most secure place to sleep at night.
Oh,
So I'm
I'm
guessing
sorry.
that's
Not all of
not-
us have the fancy monies you government spooks have.
So I'm guessing that's not where you're from. Where were you before Jarrettsville?
Places.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And how many others did you have with you?
Dozens of us. There are hundreds in the country.
I meant in your
Whoa.
vehicle, but sure.
Couple of us. If you know how many, you captured me, so I'm sure my friends were either captured or you killed them.
I just want to make sure that all your answers line up because the more you lie to me, the more often you're getting your teeth pulled.
I've been hunting your kind. I've been hunting humans for almost 200 years.
Really?
Yeah. Fit on them slaves and stuff back in the 19th century.
And where in where were you in the 19th century when you were changed into this monstrous thing then?
Where was I changed? Arkansas.
She actually laughs at that.
There used to be a debate whether it's Arkansas or Arkansas. They even came to blows on the Senate floor about it.
I've heard of that.
Just random bit of trivia. I mean, why isn't fucking Arkansas? I mean, it's AR Kansas. Where the fuck does Arkansas come from?
So I heard
Should be at least
Uh,
Arkansas.
I heard a word today that I've not heard before that I'm curious that you know anything about.
Oh, hygiene.
Camarilla.
Bah. Camarilla. It's more like camera diarrhea. Bunch of old fogies who think they know everything.
So then you'd be an anarch at that then?
Oh, hell no, I'm not one of those sissy pansy bitches. Rolling
Then what
over
are
and
you?
getting petted by the Camarilla lords. I am a free man. free to hunt and kill all I want.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna kill you soon. Once I break out of these things, you'll be
You
the
can
first
certainly
one.
try.
Oh, I'm just waiting for it. I will, once I get my strength back, which I'm slowly doing, I'm gonna break from these chains and I'm going to just rip your throat apart. I was saying that
And
one Pons walks like, Knight, do you want me to um blow out some kneecaps or use more aggressive techniques to help you out? He is speaking a lot.
yeah,
Or do you think you're gonna handle it?
I think I've got it for now. So, two questions. What exactly information am I hoping to get from this guy specifically?
Well, King wanted to know what the fuck that thing with wings was.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, that was his primary concern at the moment.
Um, and was there anything else? Mostly that though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the other question I had was, can I do bullshit detector to see is this guy putting on an angry face? Is he trying to intimidate me without any cause, or does it actually
Oh,
look like he's starting to be getting stronger and pulling at those things?
he is not bullshitting you. Most of
Oh,
what he's saying is, for the most part, truth. He's not speaking whole truths, but he's
mm,
speaking truths. It's like he's telling you most of the story, but there's still things he's holding back.
yeah. Yeah, she was more mostly interested in like, is he actually close enough to getting out of those bonds and ripping my throat out part?
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a kneecap would be smart.
Yeah, it's like, stake through the kneecap, just shotgun. Any preference?
A
Oh, you want
stake
the special
works.
device? The specialist device?
What's the special device?
The guy, the vampire's like, I'm also curious what the special device is. Guy's like, oh, he's like, oh, it's something Bishop developed for Rook. The pawn goes, picks up, looks at first like a metal stake. So you shove it in and hit this button, and as he does, the bottom of it just expands like things like and just stays there and can just keep rotating. Makes healing a lot harder. Guys, the vampire's like, so once I escape this, I'm going to take one of those and I'm going to shove it into your eye socket.
Well, so that you get an idea of how it feels. She's gonna take it and shoot him in the knee with it.
It's like, oh, you don't need to shoot, you just shove it right in.
Oh, great. Cool. Then that, yeah.
It's just like, yes. Give it to me. I love the pain.
So I've also discovered an interesting
Ah.
friend of yours. Have you ever seen a creature of your kind with wings?
Oh,
Tall, grayish skin, bat-like
I
wings.
I must say I've never encountered that person before. I know no one with gray skin with wings personally.
Have you heard of anything like it?
Yes.
What is it?
It's something that's gonna fuck your shit up.
Well, at the moment, I think you need to be more concerned with me fucking your shit up. And she's gonna turn the device in his leg.
Like ah. Let's see. Oh, you do have intimidate, so yeah. It's just like they they're called gargoyles. They're servants of the Tremere. Or free. Some of them are freed now.
And
They're
Tremere.
lapdogs. Yeah.
And what are they?
Usurping, untrustworthy dogs of vampires. You never want to trust a damn thing they say or do. They stole their gifts and just honestly are not good people. unlike me.
You consider yourself good people.
No, that tells you how bad of people the Tremere are. I would never betray my closest friends.
Is that a thing that they are known for?
They will betray anyone for a bologna sandwich, so to speak.
Good to know.
The only good Tremere is a dead one. It's like,
And these gargoyles, what can they do other than fly and smash vehicles?
They tend to be strong and tend to be hard as rock and stone to fight. They also have some gifts are different than others. No two of our kind is identical normally. They're all bred to be specific kinds too.
And what about your kind? What are you bred to be best at?
He gets close to you, he's like, come closer and I'll show you.
How about you show me from here?
If you get close enough, I can show you all kinds of things.
She'll twist the thing again.
It's like, it's... Hurt me, mommy.
So these Tremere, are they powerful in this region? Are they more popular in Jarrettsville, is it, or here in Maryland?
No, I'm not from here.
Where are you from?
Arkansas.
So you stayed there after being turned?
No, but this is where I'm from.
So you were outside this group of political sects. Is that it?
I don't have much political sex myself.
Meaning the Anarchs, Camarilla, Tremere.
Oh yeah, I'm not part of any of that shit.
What are you part of?
My own shit. I'm independent, a free agent. I go do what I do. I live the life. I eat your kind. I drink your blood. Steal, murder, all kinds of things. The only thing I don't do for fun is torture animals. No, most animals don't feel the pain that people do. It's not a challenge. As you're
Who's this
saying
guy?
that,
Yeah.
you hear the door behind you open, and a gentleman walks in.
What do they look like?
They're about 6 foot, 200 pounds. Clean shaven white man with short, just like regular boy haircut. You know, the one that like goes across and stuff. That little kids would wear, but grown-ups still occasionally do. Wearing a black suit, tie, like perfect kind of G-man. Even wearing a kind of like a fedora like cap. And they're just like, this interrogation is going to be at an end, Agent Knight. I will be taking over. I hope you got the information you needed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Agent
Smith.
It's all yours.
Thank you.
I'll twist the thing again one more time on the way out.
It's like, I'll call you later. And just the door closes and you just hear like a quick scream and then the guy screaming stops.
Is there like glass in this, or is like it completely closed off? I can't see. What's
There
happening in it.
is security cameras I can look in. And as you're walking away, the door opens and then two pawns come out too. They're like, he said he doesn't need our help.
What did he do to make him stop screaming?
He put his hand on his head and just stared at him in the eyes. He started screaming and then just stopped. Weird. I mean, he's a specialist from down DC, so
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah. And then she'll go report to King, was what she had learned.
It's like lots of stuff going on.
So I'm thinking
Wish we
what
had
we've
more
been
resources.
calling the tremors is maybe not accurate. He was saying it Tremere. It could be a pronunciation thing. He did refer to Arkansas as Arkansas and claims he's 200 years old.
Well, we have seen have had many claim to be old, and honestly, why isn't it Arkansas?
Fair.
But
He said that the thing with wings is a gargoyle. They're servants of the Tremere.
like the
Called
cartoon.
them, what was it? Usurping untrustworthy dogs. Unclear how literal he meant that last part. But it does seem like they're definitely hated by the other Blankbodies as well. The way he said it, that they would betray anyone for a bologna sandwich.
By the way, Agent Knight, you
Mhm.
should get that wound checked out. You are bleeding on the floor a little.
It's not the worst I've ever had. She realized she probably slapped some kind of bandage on it on the way in, but it's like bleeding through after hours of talking to these guys.
Yeah. If you wait for a turn of shift, White Rook can look at that.
Okay. Yeah.
Black Rook's his medical specialty isn't as much fixing it. I honestly
Yeah.
don't trust him as much. He gets a little bit too much joy using the sutures.
I can wait for White. Yeah, and she'll just tell him everything that she knows and then maybe go take a nap while waiting for the other guy to show up because it's been kind of a long night.
So wake up in the morning, White Rook comes in, treats your wound. Somebody's like, "Oh my!" He's like, "Oh, that could became a little septic if you kept it going."
I
Pretty good.
was
Yeah, White Rook.
a little distracted.
It's a about 5'4" Asian woman with yeah, we'll make her Asian woman. Short hair, wearing just kind of like a general like slacks and a button up shirt. She's just like, yeah. Oh, did you want your lolly?
I think I'm good, but thanks. Yeah. Um, and I think she'd probably go and like write up reports on everything that this person told her and her theories and everything based on it.
Yeah. As you do, you see the White King come in because it's morning, and then when shifting over, he's like, Agent Knight,
Who is this again? Sorry.
the White King, the
Okay.
morning shift. He's just
Same.
like, yes, Knight, or Black Knight, so that I don't confuse you with White Knight over there, who's just coming in. Just see White Knight over in the corner, like, I hate mornings. The Special Agent Smith. That sounds like a fake name.
Sure fucking does.
It's like, granted, we all have fake names too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like no one ever calls me by my real name around here. In fact, I don't even think anyone knows my first name.
Yeah, would we share that or not?
It's like there's file. Yeah, most people just don't ever bother.
Yeah.
It's like don't even hang out after work. But anyway, he said that there's some shit going down later tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, some special thing happening, and he's got some areas. So we're going to I suggest you get some rest because you might be called up for a big operation.
Okay.
And otherwise, enjoy your morning.
Yeah.
Oh, also according to this report, we have a thin blood who you're supposed to who's already who's recovered and ready to go, and you're supposed to take them home.
Okay. I'll take her home before I go home then.
Yeah. As you get up, person's in the
It
car
was
with
her
you.
that gave me the that fucked me up, right?
Yeah, she stabbed you.
Yeah.
She's in the car. She's like, I would say I'm sorry, but you did shoot me with a stake in the back.
Yeah, I did.
It's kind of like I do want to go home, but I also have to go to school. So I guess I'll just go home and make sure my mom knows I'm safe and then head on out. She'll drive me before she gets to her work.
What are you
They
gonna tell her?
I'll just say that I went to a party and someone roofied me and I passed out, but everything's good. My friend helped me to their house. Well, my friend doesn't live too far away, though
Yeah.
my house was probably closer. But yeah, you know how it is.
You don't think right when you're intoxicated.
Yeah, she's gonna yell at me. I'm probably gonna be grounded for a long time, but yeah, it's that or tell them I got kidnapped by a bunch of government people, or I don't know what you guys are.
And then you have to explain why that happened.
Yeah, I mean, she knows something's up with me, but I haven't really told her. She thinks it's just
It's
me
probably
become.
safer if she doesn't know.
Yeah, she thinks I'm a lesbian.
I feel like that's definitely safer in the grand scale.
Yeah, staying up late at night, going out with people she doesn't know, waking up with lots of blood stains on my shirt.
I think we have very different ideas of what all lesbianism entails.
I try to explain to my mom, but she just doesn't understand.
Okay. Yeah, and she'll pull up at wherever her place is.
Like, yeah. So the person when they they, they debriefed me, said certain things I'm supposed to know and not know, and that I they gave me this phone for me to contact and for you to contact me so that we so that I can do what I'm supposed to do to help out.
Perfect.
Yeah. They even
I look
said
forward to
they
hearing from
might
you.
yeah, they even said once I pass all the background check stuff, they might give me I might actually get a paycheck of some sort. That's cool. I could use the money.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Any help
Right.
you're able to give us will definitely reward you well for.
Yeah.
Good luck on your test.
Thank you. And yeah. I mean, you did shoot me in the back with a stake, so it's
I
still
did.
awkward. And then you interrogated me for like an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. And she'll wait for her to get into the house before pulling away.
And with that, we will end for we are catching up with our regular timeline. And just
Yeah.
so this was just a random snippet into the life of the Operation FIRSTLIGHT SI in the city, learning and figuring things out and letting people know that you should probably use Blush of Life more in our games. Players
Yeah.
who might be watching this from our Baltimore by Night game. And it's actually very noticeable to be walking around looking like a corpse. Um, but yeah, and hopefully I
Uh,
didn't disrupt our continuity too much. I was trying to go by some memory stuff there, so
yeah, it was pretty good. Um, for posterity's sake, again, this is run using the system Knights Black Agents Solo Ops, which is specifically
mhm.
designed for one-on-one games,
Yeah.
more so than the traditional Gumshoe system. It's by Pelgrane Press. They have PDFs online, and we found our copy, I think, at our local gaming store, right?
There's either that or on through Amazon. I can't remember which way we
Yeah,
got it.
one or the
But
other.
yeah, it's that we didn't use the full rule set and stuff because there wasn't as much action and stuff as I was thinking might be, more investigative abilities. But that's one thing with the gumshoe system is it's good for investigative heavy games because you just kind of give the clues. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll test it out again at another solo one-on-one when some of our games get moved around and canceled and
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little view into another side of things. So see how Baltimore by Night is a living, breathing city campaign and stuff with multiple things happening at once.
Yeah,
And stay tuned. So the next video we should have up should hopefully be the ritual, which is
hopefully.
been delayed a week from our regular schedule, but
I'm nervous.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully you all it was good and hope you had a bloody good time.